Well, hello everybody. It's Tyler, and if you probably were wondering where in the heck is Tyler, why isn't he? Look at this, man. This new ad you see on Yahoo that they've put there at the top of the. I'll get right to it. Let me just move this over here a little bit. That's me. That's Tyler, and I'm here. And welcome to my channel and my live stream. Hopefully, we're going to be up and live. I haven't done this very often, but hopefully, we'll see a chat box come up here soon. And what you're hearing here, I like to call myself the early bird, and I get up at 4 every morning, almost always, to monitor the volume on Sofi and see where things are and get a good perspective. I like to have perspective. So let me, I've got my picture down smaller. Let's get down here. Oops, almost forgot. Again, almost forgot to do this. We're going to go up here and we're going to move my display capture right up underneath me. And then we're going to get going. Here we go. So let's show you what's so exciting here and what I'm so excited about, and that would be the SoFi move that's happening right now. Turn this down a little bit. There we go. If you are tuning in right now and you can hear me and you can see me, then please let me know that. I'm going to go back here and make sure that my image is still good and that I've got, yep. And I still don't see anything here that's saying that I'm up live yet. So we're going to wait here and go back to YouTube. Maybe I have to do something here to make it, and I put done. There we go. It says excellent connection. Yes, and I think we're up and running, and we do have the chat. I'm going to put in here what I always like to say at the beginning, and that is greetings, fellow so flies. That's what I call us. And I'll spell it that way. And welcome to my, I guess, live posting. And please be kind with your comments, and no name calling will be tolerated. Got it? If you want to be in here on this, let's stick to the facts. There we go. All right. Wow. Just listen to all these birds. And hey, it looks like we've got someone coming on here as a viewer. And I want to welcome you, whoever you may be. And let's see here. Let's get back to my screen here where I'm going to be able to show you what's going on right now at this very moment. And it's exciting. It's very exciting. You can see that we've had a breakthrough because I was showing folks here before on the 5-day chart. And by the way, if my volume's messed up, I did a posting the other day, and I had a double volume thing going on because I showed somebody one of my shorts, and it kept playing in the background. I wasn't aware of it, couldn't hear the volume, and so let's make sure everything's good and go. And if you see anything that I need to fix or whatever, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. And it does say in stream up here, so I'm guessing that everything is good and that we're streaming. And so if you would please leave a comment, I sure do appreciate it. Let's see. And yeah, let's go ahead and spell this grammatically correct. I don't want to make anybody upset because they don't think I know how to. Uh, there we go. IES. There, so flies. Do I have it right there? And it looks like there's almost two L's. There we go. There. I think that's it. All right. So here we are. We're looking at this. And we're very excited. As I said, it's very nice to see this is going on, and I'm glad to see here at lunchtime. This is one of the times I like to buy the most. I like to come in because generally every day at lunchtime there's a little bit of a pullback, especially right before the end of lunch, and even a couple minutes generally right after. But today was a little different approach by those that wanted to stop the run, and they didn't really come out of too sternly out of the gate. I was looking at the volume very, very early this morning, just after 4 o'clock. The volume was extremely low, and there was a price of $8.40 when I first looked. And as you can see, we're quite a bit more above that level, but they're showing the day's range the low at 858 over here, and I guess that was somewhere. I don't know where that was. I don't see it on the chart anywhere. But what I want to do and what I want to show you and point out about today's action is the fact that the volume is where it is. It's not extreme, very moderate, which I like in comparison to what we've seen in the past. And these are the types of move that, as I've said earlier, can really be a great war of attrition. And as we see prices slowly and steadily going up on moderate volume, more and more of the shorted positions will be exiting. I believe that, and there's going to come a what I call a tipping point where the bigger hedge funds that have these shorted positions from way back, and I'm going to show them to you here. Let's go to here to just the 1 month chart. So you can see a lot of positions here, and this is heavily shorted. This stock has a lot of shorted positions being held right now, millions, and I believe now it's over 100 million. If you know, you can put that in the comments over here. And let's see if anybody at all is checking in. Don't see anyone else yet, but I think that we have, it says one concurrent viewer. That just might be me. So I'm here all alone, but that's okay. I don't mind. Don't mind one bit because I want to be here and broadcasting for anybody that is curious. And I guess I should put a new title up here. See if I can do this. Uh, there we go. Sofi. And I'm going to put shows women says women outperform women. What do they do? Women outperform men. Women are better investors. I like that. And a question mark. You'll see my charts and other info. Yes, indeed. Okay, we're going to click that. Boom. All right. Let's go over here. So what we got to do here is we want to show you, oh yeah, broke back over 9 here. We're coming over 9. And I think, and this is one thing I like to point out to people, is that when a stock starts to make a move like this, and you see these numbers, and I go to the 5-day chart because I showed this to everyone yesterday. This is the number we were looking for and what we needed to surpass. And actually, it was one more day past this, and the price was 870 was the high on the day before this, Friday, 870. So it was up in there. And I told everyone yesterday on the 5-day chart that if we could break over 870, this thing was really going to possibly take off. And we're starting to see that happen now. And you can see what's going on today and where we were. Now they're showing on this chart here, 5-day chart, the high today at 10:45 this morning. They're only showing 903 even though it was at 909. I think that's kind of curious, and I've shown you this before, how sometimes when you look at these a little bit longer term charts, they just seem to just not not put the real numbers over here for some reason. I don't know why. And maybe it's just the term being longer, so then it pulls the average down. Must be something involved in that. But this looks very strong right here with the stock price over $9 and holding well. You just saw them take it back a little bit, but that's a sign of strength once again, as I've been pointing out to everybody. And in case you didn't see my chart yesterday, let's go into the interactive chart here, and I'm going to click on the center here of this 5-day chart. And what I want to show you is these angles of what we've got going on between the very lowest numbers here when it hits the lows to the the highs. And I actually mismarked this. This actually should be over here where this low was, because this is where the lowest low was. All right. And that was on December the 7th. December the 7th. So, and I'm going back here all a good ways, as you can see, December 7th of 2022. But I'm tracking these lows to highs and the angles of these moves up. And so what I want you to see is really this line should be moved over to about here. There we go. And you can see that that's right along there where it's riding. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to put in, by clicking this right here, a draw. And we're going to come down to this low. And then we're going to come up and hit this high right here, about there, right? And then we're going to come to this low right here. And we're going to, I missed that one, so let me delete that. I just right click on it and it will delete it off. There it is. Let's do it again. We want to make sure we're getting this accurate here. I'm trying to anyway. And I appreciate your tuning in for what I'm doing here. I hope you appreciate it. I think that it will be helpful to see these chart why I'm doing this in a second if I can get it right. There we go. Now we're getting it. Now we're getting it. Here's one more right there, and then we're all the way up to there. All right. Now, what is important about these lines that I'm showing you and the angles that I'm showing you? Well, as you can see back here on this date, and you can see this move from the low to the high, you can see the angle, the pitch angle. It's less here recently, more recent. We're coming up into May. Look at the pitch angles on these, and this is a longer term chart I'm looking at here. Uh, so I think let's go to the 6 month and let's look at what happens. Yep. So you can see here on the 6 month, and it makes it a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same. You can see the angles that they're flattened out these here pitches, but look at these moves recently. Look at the degree, look at the angles of the changes. Okay. This is the thing I like to point out to people. And so as you can easily see that on each one of these moves up from these lower prices to the higher prices, the grades are getting more and more steep. And what that means to me is more strength in the stock. I could be completely wrong. And hey, we got somebody here. Hey, Anthony, thanks for dropping in. Women are players too. Yes, that's right. They sure are. They have come into they've come into play big time, and it's great that SoFi. I don't know if you heard about what they did. It's very cool. What an idea! Since they did this thing on YouTube, this advertisement. And by the way, I look back at the history of their other advertisements, and get this, they had one that was going back. I guess I can do it here. They probably won't mind. You can look here back at their history of their advertisements that SoFi's done here, and look at. We're getting away from them here a little bit, but let's get up to the ads. You can see they did one 6 months ago, 598 views right there. 2 years ago, 16,000 views. 2 years ago. And you see, 7 years ago, this one was Super Bowl ad, 36,000 views. Got it? That's a Super Bowl ad. But go up here and look at this last ad. This is in 6 days, 8.8 million views. Wow. Oh my goodness gracious. And I could play it for you, but then I'd get some sort of something from YouTube. So I'm not going to do that. But wow, look at that. So what does that tell you? Goodness gracious. Wow, that is impressive. And that means a lot of eyes are on this thing. And that means they hit the target, I believe. They hit the target. They hit the nail on the head. And just think of the benefits of this, by the way. I want you to think about it. Let's get out of here. I'm going to close this out because that's actually my trades. You can see where I was just buying there. So if I can buy in and got my buys and sells, but look at this right here. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Oh man, this chart, and it just looks fantastic. And so I want to get back over here to the main page here. Boop. There we go. All right. So as again, during lunchtime, this is more of what I expect to see a little bit downturn here because it's generally the case during lunch. And as I always try to tell people, a great time to pick up a few more, especially right near the end of lunch. So let's just see where it ends up here as I'm live. I've got it's 12:20 p.m. right now. And so, everybody knows the history who's been following me and people that have tuned in before that I like to show that all these analysts have missed the mark and they came in too low. That's the reason for the recent downgrades. All of those analysts that downgraded recently were amazingly downgrading to higher prices than they had upgraded previously, and some of them as much as just 2 weeks earlier. Because when the price was down at 450 and it came up to 5 and 550, they were shooting. They said, "Hey, we think it's worth more." Not what David Chiaverini had said on the 15th of May when he said the price was only worth 250 on SoFi, and that's his price target. They were saying, no, 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 this is going to $8, 8 or 8.50. Some said 9. One guy from BTIG said $14. Well, guess what? The next day the other guy comes out, says 250. Got to counter that $14 price. And then another one, good reviews. Andrew Jeffrey just said here on last Friday when the three came out, said down again. Again, He comes out and says 8. He's upgrading to 11, and he has a better track record with his performance record. So I'm just want to point this out just for you to take a look at. And here, like I said, the typical lunchtime. I wonder where they'll get it to before everybody says, okay, we've seen this every single day. And let's just take a look at the 5-day chart to get an idea what happened yesterday. You can see right here. See what I'm talking about? Look at this lunchtime. Bink down to 857. Made a move to 866. Oh, they like that number. Bink back down, but then up 868. Oh my goodness. And then right on. Look at it today. So anyway, I like it. I like what I'm seeing on these charts. I like what I'm seeing in the news. Look right here. SoFi used a clever trick to reverse AI's biased images of women by putting a photo booth in New York City. Well, what did that do? Well, I read this article, and what it tells you is that this photo booth they put in there, women would go in and sit down, and it would cast in the background this image of all these dollars behind them, and they would get in there and take pictures. And what was happening was this was all feeding into AI to let them know that women are associated with money. And this is a way and a great, I thought it was a genius idea for them to actually start to teach AI the truth about who's really making money in the financial world and who are making the big gains. And the women outpace the men. And that's what they prove in this latest advertisement campaign, that women aren't dummies and they know how to invest, and that was a super idea because again, I think all of those women that are obviously, as it proves, as their commercial proves, all those women who are better investors, you don't think they're going to maybe be drawn over to SoFi seeing an advertisement like this? And as I said, this is a big advertisement campaign that I think hits the nail on the head, and I think this is part of the reason is the influence of our women in the country right now, thinking, maybe I should take a look at SoFi. They go over here and they say, does it make any money? Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, what's this over the last 4 quarters? And by the way, if they could go back 8 quarters, they would see 8 quarters of advancements by this company that everybody said was probably not going to be successful in their endeavors. The digital banking world that everyone else failed at, many tried, failed, and look at the success. Look at their revenues from 4 years ago. 442.66 million. I've shown this before. You can't fast forward on live, but 565.53 million. 977.3 million right during COVID. People, look at this, 2021. And then look at the next year, 2022, 1.52 billion shares in revenue. People, look at that, and look at their earnings. Look at their earnings getting better here too. All right. So then you see all these analysts. You got all these other analysts downgrading to higher numbers than their previous upgrades, and then you got these all saying here 15 now covering, and then it's an increase here. We've had another one come on board, 4 with strong buy, 4 with buy, 7 saying hold, and none of them saying sell. That's for certain, and not overpriced. They don't believe that anyway. Now you all know that I like to keep track of other things, so we're going to go here to the holders, because as I've said, since May the 11th, SoFi has had 613 institutions. And like I pointed out, even in the midst of all of these downgrades from people telling everyone that the price is too high and it needs to be pulled back because the S&P is not even close to SoFi's performance. S&P is only averaging 7.6 or so, and here's SoFi over 100%, so it must be scaled back. It's overvalued. This is what we've heard from other companies in the past. All of them, the big companies, Apple, we heard it from them. Google, we've heard it. We've heard it from all of them. Now, I'm not trying to compare the level, obviously we're at different levels at this stage of the game. But in the future, I think this is where this is headed, into this type of movement. And I could be wrong, but the Vanguard group down here in BlackRock, they didn't sell a single daggone. When I look back on the 11th, it says institutional ownership. We're holding, let's see, what does it say up there? 39.81. And look at that. Float held by institutions, 39.81. So it's exactly the same. They didn't sell a single share. They're not worried. It says here, the holders are 613, and their percentage was 37.27% of the shares. And here we go, 37.27% of the shares. There, so you can see it, clear as a bell. Well, I want to thank you. Well, if it brings more clients, it's all good. Yes, indeed. That's right. That's what Anthony Walker says about my mentioning this new ad. And I think it is bringing new clients right now as we look at the price. As you can see it going up. Could be could be wrong, but I could be totally right. And so anyway, it sure looks to me like that we're going to take another leg up here. And what I wanted to point out about this leg up is that when you see, let's go to the 1 day, bingo, right here. When you see this moving up here like this, and it gets to this level where it hit right there at 908, well, it's interesting. It says over here 909. But my point is, when it got there, these people here, these are the day traders who've every day been watching over the last 8 days or 9 days at this point in time. And even sooner, usually it starts happening right about here. They've seen this wash down. I mean, we've all seen it. And today is a different story, isn't it, people? A very different story. And it didn't even come uh, an attack. It wasn't something like straight down here to this point right here, like it has been in the past. Let's go back here to the 5 day. Look at these. Look at these drastic, major, drastic drops in the morning. That was Friday morning. You can see that unbelievable drop. And look at all those poor people that sold there at 771 on Friday. Or says here it's only showing on this chart. It's only showing you right there at 770. What does it say? The lowest? I can't even get it to stop on it. But anyway, 778. So again, I guess it works both ways. It works on the high side, it works on the low side. They don't quite get the number, but whatever it says over when I looked at it, the historical data, if you look at it, shows that the price, if you go to the historical data on that date, the low was 771. You can go back and find it right here somewhere. See, and it's even been lower, obviously, but oh, there it is right there. So I was making a move, closed at 849. Next day, boom, all down, 771, all that. And this is the volume. It was double what it was averaging. And now look how it is doing with volume. And you can look at the price. And it's just like what I told you would probably happen after the downgrades. The same thing that happened with the David Chiaverini downgrade. It turned around and came off $4.45 to $10.23, people, in 3 weeks. And now you got all these downgrades. Now some other people coming in have some heads on their shoulder and they say, yeah, it's going to 11, and others are saying even higher. And I am one of those people that professes, because of the volume that we're seeing on this 1 year chart, and I'm going to zip in here if you didn't see this before, and I'm on the 1 year chart. Let's get over to the 1 year, and now I'm going to have to eliminate these lines. I don't need to. They're going to get even more drastic as I come back to 1 year. Look at that. But anyway, here's what I've shown some people. Go back to April of 2021. Look at the price when it had been beat down. I don't know, beat down or just fell down to $14.94. You can see right there. It was a little bit lower even. But on no volume, virtually no volume, look at where it went to. $24 or so. And that's a $10 move on nothing over here. But look at this volume that we've got over here now. Look at all the green right there. Yeah, volume coming in, price going up. Not a good combination for the shorters, especially. I've pointed this out looking at this older chart here, that when you look at this term, I believe that there was a massive amount. Look at all this red here, red candlesticks of shorting going on from this $12 range all the way down to the 450. I think they just kept shorting and shorting, and they were averaging their shorted positions. So instead of being up at when they may have started shorting, you can see the volume really picked up right here at this point in time. It becomes more obvious, even at this stage. But those that started here, they were making a fortune. And when they started shorting at 20, then they averaged again and got it at 10, and then they averaged again and got it at 5. But each time that they were averaging and piling in with more, look at the volume. Look, it's increasing here during this stage. Look at it. They're averaging to this number that they had initially, keeps coming down, and the next thing you know is it starts to rise. It starts to impede on them, okay, because now they don't have this figure or this figure or this figure. They're averaged down here, maybe. I don't know, right here where all look at all this. Is it possible? I think so, and that's why I keep saying that I think we're going to see a major possibility for a short squeeze, because there's a lot of people still holding here. in spite of all the good news for this company. And what I mean by that is, in case you're not aware of it, this new moratorium ending on the student loan payments, what that's going to mean is an opportunity for SoFi. And this is what the CEO has been stressing to everyone lately, is that this opens another door, another avenue, because they're going to bring these customers in that have the loans and say, look, don't get all freaked out about having to start paying again. We're going to work with you, okay? We'll extend it out the term on it and make your payments comfortable for you. And we're going to try and get you excellent rates. And on top of that, once you become a success in life and you're getting better income and your wages have gone up and up, you can come in, we'll sit down at the table again and we'll renegotiate, do the terms over, instead of lengthening, shorten the terms, because now you can comfortably afford more. So this is what I like about what SoFi is doing, and I think it appeals to many, many people. And I also think for the rich people out there that a $2 million in insurance coverage is better than $250,000 by FDIC. And you have to be aware that you need to opt into that when you sign up with SoFi. From what I understand, my friend notified me, who was part of this and knows because he did it, is like apparently there's an opting in for that. So don't miss that when you create the account. If you decide to come over, if you're a wealthy individual and want to protect more of your money in case of a banking crisis, which some are calling for, and still isn't out of the, we're not out of the woods yet, some are saying. But SoFi is protecting itself from these things and these by diversification. SoFi has got so many avenues and they got so many good connections and partnerships with companies. Galileo, take a look. Look at the expansion, look at the growth. Again, look down here at their revenues, look at the volume starting to build in here. And folks, when it started to get up to this much volume, in my impression, they saw this thing was getting out of control at 1023. Those estimates that they had given at 8 and so forth had to be retracted. It had to be, and that's what it was happened. It happened. And everybody who knows anything about it knows it's fine. That's financially healthy for a stock to breathe a little bit. Just, let it breathe a little, shake out the weak hands. And that's exactly what happened, because all these people you got to think about this right now. Okay. Every single share position from this day on last Friday, or Friday when the downgrades came from three different analysts on Thursday and Friday, $7.11. Every single one that did that shorting position from there. And of course, there's some that shorted here when it came back down. But look here, I'm going to go to this number. Every one, and there's a lot of volume here. You're talking about maybe 80 million shares or more. Every one of those that went to shareholders who shorted or short sold at 771. Well, look, they're every one losing money here, aren't they? Every single one of them. And this is going to be the trend, in my opinion. I say get used to it, because I think SoFi is going to just keep moderately going up, moderate, slower volume like this by smart people who are investing in it. And I've often said this to people too. If you go over to the summary page, it's fun to come over here, look at the volume level, and watch. Someone just bought 100 shares right there. Did you see that? Look at that. Someone just bought 27 shares. Look at the low. These are these are retail buyers. These are Robinhood people. Look at that. Look at the size of the buys. And this is what I am so encouraged about it, is the retail buyers. They don't let up. Look at how small these buys are. And another thing, what's happening to the price under these tiny little buy share increments? I point this out to people. If you see a 10 share increment move this up a penny, what does that mean? If you see, a couple hundred shares, like there's 200, 300, and you see the price rising on these little buys, that's a signal to me. I don't know, could be wrong, but I see that and I'm encouraged. See if we got anybody watching. Hey, we got two over here now. Hey, Anthony, a lot of people did not get in, so later we'll have a lot of buyers. Yes, I believe that. Yep, valuation is based on future. It makes sense. Uh-huh. Well, their earnings, SoFi's revenue is about to increase pretty quickly with these payments coming back in, I do believe. And I think the path to profitability, which they were saying is going to be in the fourth quarter, is almost going to be a certainty with this new opportunity opening up. And So maybe there's something about this stream. I'm going to go over here and see if there's something I can put in the description, if there's a place where I should have something about SoFi. If you know anything and can help me, I'd appreciate it. But I'm looking for if there's a place. So SoFi says women are better investors, is what I have. And I think that's going to hopefully attract some people. But I do not see anywhere to type in any kind of a description. And like I said, I'm new to this. Manage. I don't know if I click on this, if I'll close out things. Let's see here. Does it say description stream webcam manage? Well, it isn't going to hurt if it does cut off here. I'm going to see what manage says. The stream can be accessed again from the managed list. Exiting will not end a stream if it is currently live. So we're going to exit stream. No, we're going to cancel. We don't want to exit it. So I don't see a way to put in anywhere a description to get more viewers. And guess so hopefully those some more will keep trickling in. And I'm grateful for the ones that have shown up. And I'm glad you're here and watching what I'm doing and showing people. This is really fun to look at these lines, though. I mean, look at that. Unbelievable. And here we are right near the end of lunchtime. This is going to be where I'm going to be buying some more shares. And I tell you where I'm going to put my orders in. $8.88. So let's just get over here. And, well, because patterns, people, you look for patterns, you look for numbers. There's certain ones. 888 is one of them. I've told you before. The 13, the 33, the 66s. We all know these numbers that they're some of their good ones. Let me just get this order finished. There's a limit. 880. I'm gonna go for 889. I don't care if they can get there. I'll take it. Sometimes it just hits 88 for half of a second, and you don't feel and get so make certainty and go for 889. I feel fairly certain that's what they're aiming for here during lunch, and I will see if it fills or not. Uh, but anyway, I've seen it so many times. This is the same record over and over and over every single day. People catch on to it. I mean, people like me anyway. You watch what I'm saying if it doesn't hit 888 here, or maybe even 887. They could even go for 884, which I'd put another order in if it fills at 888. I'll go for 884. But anyway, volume is just so low, but again, it just keeps coming in on these small share buys, and it will not stop, in my opinion. So let's get over here, see if we can find something about. We found something about Captain Kirk early. I was looking up, and we're going to look up now the CEO. Oop, CEO SoFi buying SoFi shares. And May 15th was the date that the big downgrade came. And this is interesting. You can see on May 5th he bought 19,833, and then we come over here May 18th. Let's see here. Remains aggressive on May 16th. Bought 108,000 shares, and that was at 467 a share. He got in lower than me even. Look at that. I was just talking about 66, and he got in at 467. He's no idiot either. He's a smart guy. Bought 50,000 shares here, May the 5th. 50,000. Do you see this, people? This is the CEO knowing that his company was better than everyone saying. Look at this. He keeps buying, even on the Wedbush analyst review. In case you're new and don't know about it, here's that Wedbush guy. Here's his analyst ratings. His name is David Chiaverini. There he is. Let's go see. Yep. Let's go check out his analyst ratings here on this place right here, and you will be surprised to learn that so many people fell for someone with such a poor return rate. Look at it here when he hits a winner, 97 out of 280 times, folks. Hey, like that. And that guy saying the price of SoFi was worth only $202.50 a share made so many people on that day lose so much money. Isn't that horrible? Yeah, go back here May 15th. Look at that. Look at the volume, how low it had been 30, 26 million, 28 million. All of a sudden, his little pop story comes out. Doggone it. Price had been at 544 the day before, 522. I take it back. and then 445. Yeah, on 103 million shares traded, panicking people because of this guy right here and his prediction, his forecast for 250 a share. Look at his star rating over here. You can't even, I'll zoom in here. You can't, you can hardly see his star rating, folks. He might as well be with a rating of 97 out of 280. Pull a quarter out of your pocket and flip it before listening to this guy, right? I'm sorry. I just, I expose all this because it makes me furious that a stock that I own shares in, someone like that person comes along and anyway, SoFi CEO buying shares. He's not the only one. SoFi CEO's wife. All right, look at here, 33,259 shares she stepped up to May in 2021. That's how much she spent. She got an average of $6 and something a share, folks. So, and let's go down here. There's his disclosing that his wife bought back dating to 2021, so he had to disclose it. And anyway, so just wanted you to know that. And if you look down here, look at all the dates of the CEO buying shares. Here he bought. It says he revealed that his wife has made another buy on May the 15th. Spent an average of 14.23 for each share she bought. That hurts for her, but do you think she's sold? I don't know. Here though, in May 16, 2023, 108,000 shares that he bought 467. May 17th. You could go on and on. There's many dates that he's been buying during all this. Bought 5 million worth on December 13th. Okay, so he's currently owning, let's see, CEO of SoFi, and owns shares of SoFi. Let's see how many he owns, how much money's worth. Oh, 6.4 million shares. Nah, drop in the bucket. 6.4 million shares. Remember, he was buying them in the 460 range, and where we are now, $9. He's doubled his money. 6.4 times 9. Oh man, I'm doing something wrong here. 6.4 times 9.00 equals 57 million. 60. Do I have this right? I don't know. It's a lot of money though. Why I don't know what I'm doing here. Hey Alexa, what is 6.4 million times $9?
6.4 million times $9 is $57,600,000.
You think he's got
By
a?
the way,
Oh
you have a
no!
new
Stop, Alexa!
notification.
Alexa, stop! Thank you. This always wants to elaborate and go on and educate you more. But man, that's a lot of jack, people. Man, oh man, oh man. And look again at this chart. And look at the price. Oh, look at that. 887. What do you know? 887. Goodness gracious. How would anybody have ever guessed the price would go to 888? Huh. Amazing. Let me get another order in here real quick. Hold on. Just filled at 889. I appreciate your patience. And I'm going to put in one at 885 because I think they might try for 884. No problem. Boom. I'll take 200 there. Limit 885. And we're in. But at least I got 889, and we're going to see if we get here a little bit lower. Because right here, look at the time, right at the end of lunch. Watch and learn, folks. Watch this and watch it fly. Yes, after Tyler buys, it's flying to the sky and ain't gonna stop till it reaches the top. Oh yeah, I like to sing. Get over to my music channel on SoFi. On Spotify. Oh man, Spotify, SoFi. Hey, SoFi's in the middle there of Spotify, as you can see. And anyway, so Spotify is where I am. I'm also on Apple Music, Google Play, all of those platforms. And Tyler, self, I have created music over the last 30 years with friends all over the country. Did a lot of recording down in Orlando at Full Sail Studios, and have two CDs from out of there. And we have a lot of music online. I think you'll enjoy it. Get on over there and check out a few of my tunes. Come on back over to my channel. Let me know what you thought. If you have a favorite song, one of them that cracked you up or you couldn't believe or whatever, because I do a lot of good little humorous songs and songs with plays on words and innuendo. So, and it's from every walk of life. People I do music with are rock and roll, classic rock, country, even rap, believe it or not, jazz because I'm a sax player and I'm a lead singer. So, played with a band out of Texas back in 1981 called Frankie Cashmere and the Sweaters, and we also had dual band we got Flyer was also another name we used, and we interchanged between sets on the stage doing show sets like the guys that were back in the Shana Na used to do. We did some old 50s stuff and 50s and 60s music as we had our hair greased back and all kinds of outfits we were wearing, and right out on the floor with no dancing going on, we were doing a show like a Vegas type show. We traveled all over the world doing that for years, and then I moved to Orlando, started up my own band. um, we were actually had marketing, and the name No Doubt was the name. We had T-shirts with a question mark and then a slash across, and we had all kinds of stuff. We had a following there in Orlando, and all of a sudden we got a cease and desist from some group out in California, same name, Gwyneth Paltrow or something involved there, and they told us that we had to leave that name alone, and we changed it over to another one. Now, Small Fortune. But anyway, make a long story short, I'm just a single artist now, represented on all those platforms I told you about, Tyler Self. And if you'll come over and give a listen, I think you'll like what you'll hear. And we'll see by what your feedback is. So let's see what's happening here on this chart now. Let's get over to the 5 day. And I think I'm going to remove, because I really like to watch this 5 day chart even closer than others. Oh yeah, and look where the price is here. But look at the last time. Look at the last time. Every single time this thing is hit my 45 blue, right up here, blue 45-day moving average, gold 50. And here's how I made that happen. I got an indicators. I click on moving averages. 50, I can make that 10, which it is. My purple is 10, and I hit save. And now my 10-day moving average is saved as purple. And then I can go back over and put another indicator in, and I can go hit moving average, make it 50. And mine happens to be my 50 days happens to be the gold one. So you click here and make it gold, and then you hit save. And then, this is how you make these lines that I've got that I'm using. So right now, I'm going to try and cancel this because look at the shorter term 45-day moving away from the 50-day. This is a trend. This shows trend. Okay. These charts, people, they're not just here for you to, monkey around with. They give you all kinds of indicators. When you're looking at these angles, these pitch angles, they give you indications. And so you have to, if you're smart, you take advantage of uh, this technical availability. I guess it's the word I'm looking for. I'm going to get rid of all these moving average lines here so they're not mucking things up. There you go. And I'm just right clicking on them with my mouse to make them go away. Took me a while to figure that one out. But there it is, 888. What do you know? 10 minutes till 887. I guess my 885 is not going to get filled. But yeah, it's another great opportunity to buy every single day. So keep your eyes on this thing. Oh, look at that. It just said 885. So I think I might have just filled there. Wow, that one quick order I have. Let me see. Order status. Oh yeah, we filled. What is that? What? Let me see. Let me see what the low is today. Let's see. Oh, well, it's showing 858, but I just filled at 885. I did. There it is. You can see it over there. It's a little black box over there. Nice. I love filling at the low of the lunchtime low. And folks, I do it almost every single day because it's such a pattern. And this may be all changing soon because with this run up that's going to ensue, I don't think there's any way that they're going to be able to keep this bound going down to 888. And then the next number will be 988, and then it'll be 1088, and 1188, 1288. And all that could come a lot sooner than most are anticipating because of the reason that I just showed you a little bit ago. Let's go look at my other favorite stock I've got some of, Carnival. Look at this 5-day chart. And I want to point out, folks, SoFi is not the only one that gets attacked. Look at this. I'm going to change. Look at this. Earnings came out. They beat the street on Monday. Just the same. Does this look familiar? Look at them beat the street, beat the street, beat the street. This is a pattern that SoFi's seen. And then as soon as they announced that they beat the street, look at what happened. You remember what happened when SoFi announced? Do you remember what happened? I'll show you. I'm going to let you see what happened. We'll go back to the 1 year chart, and we're going to go back here to May the 15th, 2023. What happened? Look at that. Look at that drop. And then here's the May the 15th. That guy just showed you that gave the downgrade. You see that? So it's not this the kind of thing that happens to SoFi. They're not singling out SoFi. They'll do it to anyone. Look at that. You see that? And look where it is now. All the poor people that got scared out Monday on this. Is it manipulation? Was it fear? Everybody sold? Because I guess it's just sell on the news. They beat the street, sell on the news. But wow, was that a mistake by everybody, wasn't it? Look at that. Let's look at my other one. PLTR up. Being pulled back a little bit, man. Like I said, showed you the chart on this when Kathy Wood, who just bought into SoFi here, just announced her entry. She didn't go in as heavy as she did on PLTR, but she's using the advice I give others, and that's not to dive into any position. You wait in. She did the same thing with PLTR. Just to give you an idea, she came in on the 17th on June 17th. I think it was. Or no, it was May 17th. She came in on May 17th. That was right about here, I guess. Let me go back a little further. We're not far enough back. Let's show you where she came in. Right here. This is where she came in on PLTR, May 17th, and then she bought again on May the 22nd. Right here on this little dip she bought. And then this was kind of not a wait in, it was a large purchase, a lot of shares, but then this was an even more massive share buy in because at that point she waited. Once she waited in and saw what was happening, she wisely went in for more. Price went all the way up. If you look at the historical data, which I'm happy to show everyone, after she came in here from May the 17th, look at the low that day, 946. And it had been lower. She was just watching it and she saw what was happening. 902, 935, 946. Bam, she comes in the next day. Bam, opens up at 1046. And then within just days, look at this, within 2 weeks, June the 7th. So, 22nd to the 7th, up to 17. She got in below on this date here, below 10. And then well, this is why so many people follow her, and they follow in her footsteps because she's a successful philanthropist. She runs an ETF that's worth $8.5 billion, probably more now that she's bought into SoFi and PLTR, and they're going up. So anyway, let's get back over here, see if we've got anything. All right. Hey, Chris. Hey, what's happening, my friend? All right. I see Chris has popped in here to say hello. And in a bull market, people should buy the dips. Yep. But I guess a lot of investors lost a lot those last years. That's Anthony Walker, telling us this. And thank you, Anthony, for pointing that out. And they were buying the dips in the bear market. That's right. And they were buying the dips under situations where this company beat the street. And then when they beat the street, the same thing happened to them that happened to Carnival. They beat the street, wham! Starts to come back up, and then it almost looks identical. Bam! They must have given a downgrade right there on Carnival. On this, when it started to go, I went and dotted off. You looked in the news, someone downgraded it. It fell. Comes up here, and I bet you if you look on the 26th of June, it was downgraded. Fell. All right. So you see what these downgrades are all about? Actually, the more downgrades, they're fanning the flames, the fire. Look at that. There's 884 on it, folks. I do have my order at 885, so bang, I just filled in there. Guess what? That's the sound that I like to make. You right. Bought back when they had it at 470. Now I'm buying again at 884. Yeah, gummit, man. Again, these numbers, I'm telling you, people, they're very predictable. You keep watching them, you'll learn over time. There's certain figures that they go for whatever reason. It's just favorite numbers of theirs. And I'm guessing, I'm going to tell you what else. From this number here, the next one that they would aim for lower is going to be 866. So put an order in for 870, 867 right now. And this is the way I go about it. Yeah. But first, I'm going to have this one. I'm going to change it. I'm actually going to make it 877 because it's another number that is frequented. So I'm just going to put in 100 at 877. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to do reuse. I'm going to do one more at that number I told you, 866. Change. And since I was there, we go. And place order. And now let's see if they fill. But all right, so let's get back over here. What else did I want to talk to you about? Not really very much more. I got one here picked that I've been telling you about to keep an eye on. BMR, it's down a little bit right now, but not much. It just hangs here. If you look at the 1 month chart, it's been trickling along, but sometimes it starts to make a move and then gets pulled back down. But I'm watching this one closely, and the reason that I'm watching this and telling you all about it is because if you go over here to their statistics, you'll see something interesting about this company, and that is inside ownership. And if you look here at the inside ownership of this company, you'll see, first of all, that their shares outstanding is very low, only 12.88 million. But look at this, held by insiders, 64.93%. I like that. Held by institutions is low, but still, that could add up to some very good positive upside movement, especially if these people get raises, income increases, and so there's a very strong signal that this company believes and their management believes, just like SoFi's management believes in theirs. And so let's get over here. We're going to be looking at this one day, and because I like to show this to people because there's something important about each of these times we're going to see these prices fall, and I'm going to point it out to you right now. Let's take a look at this one here. The price hit a high, says 909, fell 886 or 885, 909, 884, let's say. So 9.09 minus 8.84 equals, I don't understand what's happening with this thing here all of a sudden. 9.09 minus 8.84 equals 25 cent. 25-cent drop. Give me a second. And that was at let's see, 10:50 a.m. 25 cent down. And then where we at here? Let's take a look. The strength of the pullback. The strength of those that want to bring it down. 901. We'll just say. Then down to 901. Well, we just saw it 884. So 901 minus 884. 9.01 minus. Some of you already know the answer, but I'm not going to make a mistake. 17 cents. So we saw a drop of 25 cents, and now we only saw 17 cents, didn't we? Does that speak to the strength any on this stock? I point out these things because I am an observer of charts, and I've made a living off of charts now since I was on the Wheel of Fortune back in the year 1999. You can actually see that on YouTube if you go and put in Wheel of Fortune. You put in Amy, I think it's Amy and Tyler and Joy, Joy, because that was the gentleman's name who was also on there. Strangely enough, I didn't even know it through all the rehearsal tryouts and all the stuff we did. Joy was from my hometown of Winter Haven, Florida. And when we were on the show, they said, "So you're from where are you from?" He goes, "I'm from Winter Haven, Florida." I just kind of looked over like, "What? You're from my hometown?" He was a lot younger than me. But anyway, it was a fun show. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. You'll see how I did and what I did with the money. I invested it in the stock market, and then from 2000 to 2008, of course, everything was quite good. We all know what happened in 2008, and fortunately, I didn't fall with the rest of them. I didn't believe that it was just a correction, so I after the second day downward day, I was out, but then after that, you all know what happened. It just was an absolute debacle, an utter collapse, and a catastrophe for many of my friends who didn't believe what I believed, and they stayed in thinking that this was just a correction, and it was horrible for so many people. And I can remember being at work with I worked at a big Chevrolet dealership in Orlando, World Chevrolet, no longer there. That's a long story, but they uh, they were doing very well in the area, and we were doing very well. At the time, I was living on a lake in Orlando, Florida, having huge parties every Sunday and having a great time. Life was good, and so anyway, make a long story short, I don't even know why I'm going on about this, but in the end, uh, go over and check out the show, see how I did. Think you'll be surprised. And I couldn't tell anybody about my winnings because it took me 9 months to get the money. I explained that in another video. It was just because of happenstance. Nobody else, other people often only wait 90 days, but because of the timing of the filming of the show in Orlando, they were on the road, and the time it took before the next season started, it all was something else. But anyway, make a long story short, like I said, let's get back over here. But I'm looking at this chart. You see what's happening over here on the 1 day? Hmm, very interesting. Let's go here and see if we're seeing any green candlesticks at the bottom, because it's important when you're looking at these charts that you keep an eye down here at the very bottom. So chart master is going to get over here. Oh yes, sir. Oh, huh. See this? Look over there. You'll see over there a box on the right on your screen. If you're looking at Yahoo, it's on the left hand side. A small box pops up when you go along these candlesticks, and it shows you the volume of these. And look at this buy right here, 129,000 shares. Look at that, 104,000 shares. And these people aren't crazy. They know what happens at lunch every day. At the end of, I told you, these people are getting used to these patterns. Look at that candlestick there. Yeah, 888. All right, well, I'm making money. Bought at 884, 885, and now you see where it is, and I got it at 888, so 889, so I think we're going to see that get bashed through here soon. And let's see what we got over here, everybody. Anybody else? Anthony, yes, we still see you there. Uh, yep, appreciate Chris and anybody else that might be watching. If you want to come over here and say something to me, I welcome you. And let's see, I guess I should have put this up a long time ago. I forgot to hit the little arrow button. Greetings, fellow slow flies, and welcome to my live posting. Please be kind with your comments, and no name calling will be permitted. Let's stick to the facts, please. So that's kind of my motto, and I hope that we can keep it that way. Everything very civil, and a lot of times on message boards that you find on Yahoo, people are so ugly to other people, and name calling is all over, and it's just horrendous. And we don't want to see this going on my channel at all. And so, yeah, right now we can see what's happening with this chart. Going to refresh the page one more time, and as is predicted, 888, and we see it. We see the attempt to hold it at that number, and I think we're going to see what happens very, very quickly. Let's get over here to the summary page. Look at the volume here. Oh, wow, that's a substantial 50,000 shares. And you just look at these numbers here, and I like to point out, look at the size of the buys right here. Look what's going on right here at 1 o'clock. Watch the size of the buys. Some would say the sells, but what I want to point out is I've been pointing out is that if you go back here and you look at this 1 month chart, first of all, we know that this SoFi is heavily shorted, don't we? Yep. And look at these prices. 1 month ago, you think anybody's still holding these positions? You don't think these hedge funds that have made so much money while it went from $24 all the way down to $4.45 have made so many millions and millions of dollars that they can afford to hold these positions that they've shorted and wait? They're being patient, but right now the I'm not sure what's going to happen with these downgrade that they keep coming at them with SoFi, because I mean I looked it up. Do you know how many analysts there are that are doing it's like 1,300 or something that analysts 1,400. They could throw a downgrade at SoFi every day for 3 years, 4 years almost, maybe more. But the question is, how many times are people going to go for the wolf, the crying of the wolf? When they, especially when they keep looking after these downgrades like last Friday's. And where was that? You see the big cliff here on the 22nd. And that was, as you can see, looking down here, the 28th. So a week ago, you can see this big drop off. I think it was on a Wednesday, actually, the 22nd. But this is downgrades that did this. But look ever since. So you see the pattern that's starting to emerge. It should be very, very obvious. And let's go to the 6 month. And here we go. I'm going to break it down for you. Here's where they came out with earnings. Bam, here. Then here's David Chervini, and he knocks the thing right into the dirt with his excellent rating analysis of SoFi. Didn't he do great, saying $2.50? And I wonder how many people, when it was there, were still shorting it, thinking 250 was in the sights coming down the pike. Well, that sure didn't happen, did it? Look at that. Over 4 times his target price. Yep. And then these other guys, that all these analysts, that once it got up to here, they said, "Oh my, we're starting to look kind of silly with our upgrades to $8, aren't we? Better put something out there and make ourselves look better and downgrade because they're overvalued. Valuation is too high. Let's compare them to the S&P, which is only doing 7.6% gains, and show that they're way off skew. You know, let's prove to everyone that they shouldn't be over 100% up in just a month and a half." So, is that what they set out to do? Maybe. I'm not saying it for sure. I don't know. I don't know that for a fact, but everything seems awfully suspicious. And again, it doesn't take a genius to get over to these historical charts and see what's going on. Let's get on here and see what they're doing to it. Watch it close, inspect it, look at it. I keep my eye on this like a hawk. I should be called the stock hawk. Yep, now you can see right here into lunch that 45-day. See how it broke below the 50-day right there? And how can you tell that they're still coming at it? Well, you can see here, look at the blue 45-day, look at the pitch downward right there. So still coming at it at this stage of the game, but I'm looking for these to start joining again, and then that blue to cross up over. And look at my 10-day down here. You see it? Right there. That was it, where it reached the low, 1:02 p.m. And I even said right before the end of lunch, or sometimes a couple of minutes after lunch, is one of my favorite times. And here we are right now, 1:09. And let's see. Oh my goodness, look at that. Yeah, this is very encouraging looking, and this is on the 6 month chart. Go to the 1 month chart. Doggone. I just really, really like this platform building right here, very much so. And let's go to the 5-day. Yep, we see it. Look at that. I show people again, all the folks that are losing money from these shorted positions, all the folks from right here, 5 days. Look at this. And even further back, right now, you've got people that are since the 20th of May, folks. Look, all the shorted positions from here over to here, under all the volume that you're seeing right there, even this big drop, all of them losing money right now, aren't they? Yep. Oh my goodness, 881. Am I going to see my 877, Phil? 877? I hope I put it in at 877. I think I did. Yeah, maybe. But if it does, then after that, man, like I said, we could see 866. Doesn't matter to me. Even at that price, people, guess what? I got news for you. If you come over here to the back page and you look at what was it yesterday, what was it yesterday when we get back here to the summary page? What was it yesterday? It closed at 864, folks. So what do you do if we even saw it go to 866 and bounce off that? All right. I say more power to you. and give me another buying opportunity. 877. Don't think it's going to get there, but there we go. They're really giving it everything they got. And I could be wrong. It's just falling. There's nobody doing it. It's not being manipulated. Not like Palantir. It's not what you see is not what happened. When you look at this chart from 5 days and you see where it was and that big attack, uh, I showed it to you earlier. Doesn't look that scary here now, but I can't get back to the interactive where I was. There, it's almost as if it's been diminished, the big attack that they're not trying to show. But there it is. Look at that. Look at that. After earnings, go figure. Drop to there. What a surprise. What a surprise. Who would have ever guessed that on an earnings release that beat the street, it would drop? Well, it dropped a lot more on the earnings release than you're seeing at Palatar. And if you want to know how much that was, I'll show you right here. We're going to go way back down here to 2 months ago. I'm not going to make the mistake I made yesterday. I'm going to keep going down till I see it. And I am going to see it. And it's way down here. It says 2 months ago. Keep going. Last month won't be far enough back. Keep pushing it. Analyst downgrades. You can see right here, man, they came 3 downgrades. Price went up 3 days in a row after that. 3 days in a row, the low went up to the next downgrades. Okay, here we are, almost there. Yep. Almost there. I know it's in this region. And these funny headlines, it's so funny. There it is. This was on May the 1st. This headline came out, down 20% after earnings. Excellent earnings, by the way, just like always. But what do you know? Same thing that happened to PLTR took place. Big drop. Big drop. Everybody knows it, sees it, watched it. 882 still holding above my next buy level, but 877, I'm telling you, that's going to be their next target for sure. And then 866, like I said, if they can get her there. Don't think it matters, like I said, because it's still going to be up. Let's go to the historical data. One more thing. Let's go look at where where the lows have been lately. Well, on the 23rd, Friday, look at that, 829. And by the way, I put up a video. I'm going to show you here. Let's get over here. I hope I don't lose this stream doing this. I think I might have just went off the air. Let's go forward. I hope not. Should have opened up another page probably. Let's see if we're still live. Yep. Uh-oh. I think I just went bye-bye, didn't I? Yep. Am I still on? Oh, goodness gracious. I think I'm streaming here, but I don't know. I hit the back button. Live stream says 5 viewers right now with 4 likes, 4 concurrent viewers. And I'm just going to keep talking here. So, yeah, it says 108, 10. So it looks like we're still running, I hope. I hope we are. If I didn't and I cut it off, then sorry about that. But let's go down here to my OBS and see what it's doing. And it still says, it doesn't say stop streaming. So I think we're still rolling here and the volume is still working. So it looks good. Let's get this out of the way now and go back to here. And we're going to see. We are going to see what's going on here. All right. Where was I at? Oh, I was going to show you. And I told you, where the price had fallen to on the 15th. But boy, like I said, every time these reviews come out, up it goes, even higher. And so I'm not worried about any downgrades, and neither should you be. Let's get over here. Still seeing 884 holding up well as I had thought it might. Unfortunately, yes, it's definitely obvious. Not going to happen. 877. No. But looking at those historical charts, I tell you what, if I was shorting this stock right now, I'd be petrified, and I'm going to show you why. Because we're going to go here. We're going to go to Sofi one more time. Oh, goodness gracious. Boop. Sorry. There we go. And we're going to go to technical. historical charts. And let's see. Mhm. Oh, and I know what I was going to do. I was going to go over to YouTube. Boop. And I'm going to go to my shorts. I want to show you my shorts. Hold on. Because 2 days ago, and you can see that low I just pointed out to you. If you look 2 days ago at my channel, you go to your channel and go over here to shorts, and you'll see, look at here. I put a short up when the price was at 829, and I told everybody, watch this thing like a hawk right now because it's going to hit bottom. It may be there now. It actually went a little bit lower. But if you go to the historical chart on this thing, you can see what actually happened on that day and what it hit for the low. And I think it was 814 was where it closed. But still, look where it is now, folks. A lot better than that. So I think did okay even when I was telling people at 829. So congratulations to all of you folks who may have gotten in there or kept your eye on it. And when it got down to that 814, maybe you got in, and I'd be even happier for you. So let's just go back over here, look at my live stream, and it says that yes, we're still running. So I guess we're doing good. And I want to thank you again if you're here watching, and thank you for your comments that you've been putting over here. Um, Yes, and Anthony Walker just commented on what I said. Yes, those downgrades were worthless and useless is the word he used, and there's so much truth to that because of the fact that these people that are calling for these downgrades were calling for upgrades that weren't high enough just weeks before. So let's get over here, close out this, go over here. And this is another stock I want you to look at. Open, okay? Uh, got a little bit this morning. You see, they came out of the gate, took it down to 354. Bam, said I'll take some. Keep an eye on this one. You can look here. Look at their 1 month chart. I don't know. I didn't bring this one up to your attention earlier, but when it was down here, I should have put up a video about it. I bought some when it broke over 250, 251. I started in on it. Doing okay. But this is a good pick too. Look at open, look at the volume. You can look at its historical data, and it's important to see, where the volume was, and the volume remains and is going up. So this is important to look at, and it's a nice gainer today. So I'm happy to be involved in that one. Go back over here, and yes, looky there. Well, it didn't stay long. 884, bye bye, and 885, toodles. 886, arrivederci. 887, au revoir. 888, adios. And sayonara and auf Wiedersehen and any other thing you want to say about these lower numbers that we're seeing now. And great opportunity. Just you saw it. It was a great opportunity to get it there. End of lunch, 884. Hope you got some. And if you didn't, that's okay. Still going to be in a great opportunity right now to get some. Well, it's going up is always a good time to be buying, nibbling at it. This is when I like to put in market share orders, and I put in little 10 share market orders and order 10 shares at a time. My screen went off. There we go. Let's put in some 10 share market orders. And we put them in, by the way. I like to put in my market orders when it's going up, obviously. But my limit orders, I like to also do 1 penny below the current price as it's rising. That way you're always supporting it. Just keep putting the limit in, penny below. And, the nibble stage, I'm doing 10 shares or 20 shares at a time because there's no reason not to. It's continuing to go up, and all I'm doing is strengthening my portfolio at these lower positions. I'm averaging up, but don't matter, especially when we see what's going on here in this environment. Very good moderate volume and a good gain, and not going to see what we saw. Uh, the pattern has been changed, is what I'm getting at. The pattern's been changed. All right, here we go. I can put in my order here, and I'm going to put in 885, the limit price first, and I'm going to hit place, and then I'm going to do an 884, one below. And we're just doing 10 shares in place. Okay, and I'm not going to get it. It's at 886 already, so let's just do another one at 886. All right, we're almost there. There's 885 filling. And as I said, no, I'm going to make it 885. Like I said, 1 penny below. And there we go. Hit that. I did just fill on 885 on my first one. See if we get it again. And then keep doing this. I'll just keep on doing this, 1 penny below. And, I think we're going to, oh, there's 887. See? And folks, this is going to continue. And my opinion is now is the time for you to nibble a little more. Get you a piece of the cheese because it's going to be delicious. And let's see over here and see what's going on BMR. Okay, we're starting to see a little bit of move up on that. PLTRs. Oh, look at that. A very nice chart here. Look at that 45-day gapping away from the 50 on PLTR and about to break over $15. This is going to be a nice run once we see that price number go away. And OPEN, get over here. And yeah, oh yeah. Looks like a very, very good move headed that way too. Don't know, could be a cliffhanger, so just, watch it, nibble. That's my suggestion. All right. Pretty soon, as I said, 888 is going to be in our rear view mirror. You're going to see that because there's no way that with this constant Robin Hood volume coming in, 1, 3, 2, 5, 7 shares, 20 shares, 15 shares. Look at that, 2 shares right there. I mean, it's amazing to see these little buys coming in constantly. They just never ever stop. They never let up, and that's the problem for these longs. There's just too many retail buyers being attracted by one thing, this company and its revenues and its earnings and its vision and its market share that it's gaining. And it just got into the top 100 banks. It was like 180, 200 just a while back, and now it is just scaling up. It is getting bigger and bigger. It is expanding, and this thing is a not an avalanche. This is an upalanche. Yeah, that's what it is. An upalanche, I call it. And it's going to get more and more powerful as more and more people wake up to the fact that this is an innovative company. This is a disruptive company. This is uh, they're challenging everyone to their mark. They're setting the higher mark right now in this field, in this financial world, and they're getting the headlines. And I think what I just showed you with all those videos of SoFi's latest ad, 8 point something million views in just a few days, less than a week. And their last views on other previous videos, the advertisements on YouTube were, like I said, the other one had, I think, around 6 million, but it was there for years, 2 years. So, I mean, this is just in the headlights, boy. They are keeping themselves in front of everyone. And that's what I like. It's called exposure in the entertainment business. I was in Texas, playing with that band and traveling all over the place. The manager, when he hired me in as the lead singer, sax player, said to me that, and I was like, well, I think I should get a little more in earnings or whatever, be the lead singer and all. And no, you're not going to get, you got to look at what kind of exposure you're going to get out there on the road. I mean, you know how much that's worth? And this is what they're all told. All artists are told that, especially back in the old days, and settling for these contracts that they never really made any money, but they sure worked their butts off, and they made their managers and the agents a lot of money. And if you saw the recent Elvis Presley movie, you'll see the example how that sets the example of what was going on there. A lot of money being made behind his back, and he didn't even know it. And contracts to give the guy unlimited table betting, his manager, just as long as he could keep him there at the hotel and performing for another 5 years or whatever it was, 10 years. Just incredible. Well, there's 888, and I called it. It's this the love number. I actually love the number 8 because, as I've spoken to you before in the past, anybody who knows, I'm a big Red Sox fan. I have Red Sox memorabilia everywhere. I actually even have the Curse of the Bambino up here and a contract, the original contract that was written up when he was sold from the Yankees to the Red Sox, believe it or not. Interesting thing about it, it shows, I'm sorry I'm going off screen, that he was paid, they paid 25,000, and there's initials by that, and it says, it was written in later, cash, written in pen, cash, $25,000 and other good and valuable considerations paid by the party of the second part. So, and it's signed right down here. And it says American League Baseball Club of New York by the Boston American League Baseball Club. And there's the signatures and the witness and the seal, the notary seal, 4 9 yards. Yep, George Herman Ruth, the Curse of the Bambino. And anyway, you might find that a little interesting. All right. What else going on here? Let's see. Well, I keep saying 88 is going to break, and I believe it will. So we're just kind of tuning in here and talking about things that are interesting so far. But you know what? I'm not here to bore everyone, and I'm not here to get thumbs downs because I'm dragging out without any valuable information. I always want to be giving people valuable information while I'm on here. And so I don't think I'm going to just belabor this. I think what we're doing, and the reason that I wanted to come up is because I saw that the bottom had been reached. I always try to come on during the daytime when I see what I think is a bottom. And you just saw it now. They're showing 882. So I never saw that. I filled at 885. So I feel good about that. Up on that one. And I'm going to be up soon on my 889 buy as things unfold this afternoon. Because this volume, it doesn't let up. Like I said, it just keeps coming at them. One share, three shares. Look at the count. Look at the size. Watch them. Look at that. Was that 10? I mean, it just never stops. There you go. The three share buy right there. You can just watch it. And the price, they're not afraid of 888. You can look at these little tiny, there's 100 shares, 101 actually. There's 300 just tiny buys by these retailers like you and me, folks. They just don't let up. They stay right at their heels, nipping at their heels. And the day's charts here, if you look over this 5 day, they've been nipping at their heels since this time here. Well, I click on the 5 year, no, 5 day people. Since this very point right here, right there, when you saw that they said 771 that day, but since that point, ever since, just nipping at their heels, nipping, 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 nipping. And they're going to keep nipping it all afternoon, if you ask me. And pretty soon, we're going to see that number fall. It's going to be falling here within, I'm going to say 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the reason I'm saying this, it is almost 1:30. Exactly 1:30. And yesterday, watching this, they started coming in on this at 1:30. I was watching. They didn't want to wait till 2. They didn't want to wait till 3. They started. So this is where I'm presuming we're going to see it right now. I'm going to stay tuned and watch. And maybe all of us together can watch this thing just completely explode to the upside. Yep. And so we got 3 viewers right here now. Chi Wong, huge support level. Yes. Hey, thank you for coming in, Chi Wong. I appreciate your comment there. And so anyway, it says it's a huge support level. What name calling? Did I spell something wrong? I don't know. Probably did. Uh, no name calling will be permitted. Yeah. If we can get over $9, we'd be really bullish. Otherwise, we will back down. All right. Well, that's what Chi Wong believes, but and that could be very well true. But I think we're definitely going over $9 here. And the reason that I think so is pure and simple because of this right here that I'm mentioning as I'm videotaping here. This tiny, tiny shares that are being purchased. They just don't let up. And this is part of the thing that I love about this stock. I've mentioned it before to people. Look, it's 130 right now. And this is the time that yesterday we started seeing the size of the buys increasing. Okay. So let's just watch here down here and watch the size of these buys and see if we're going to start seeing some big block buys come in. And I'm going to get in here on this technical chart and we're going to get right here. That sure looks good. Look at that cup and handle on that. Oh, yeah. Yes, sirree. Look at this cup right here. Look at this cup. Look at them come at it there. Look at the green candlesticks. We're going to get in a little bit closer here. We want to start seeing these green like this one. See what's happening here? That's what we want to see again. And I think it's headed our way, right down Fifth Avenue. We're going to be driving. Yep, right down Fifth Avenue in a long black limousine. That's what I call. And look at this. It is going to break above this. And once it gets above this, and this is very good because as you can see, I'm going to zoom in. Look at this blue 45 day and the 50 day. Remember, I told you I would be looking for that to happen. And I'm starting to see it right now on this little bit longer term. Let's go. Let's make sure this is the 5 day. Yep, let's get back over here. Yep. Oh my goodness gracious. See how they had touched together and actually crossed over there a minute ago? Now look at the 5 day. Look what's going on. Let's get to the 1 day. Let's take one quick look at that. Why not? Let's get over here. Oh yeah, look at that blue. Look at the blue there. And folks, we're not the only ones looking at this. Okay? Everyone can see this. Everyone sees this. Uh-oh. Whoa. Everyone can see this convergence. Everyone knows that this is a break point right here. This is snapping point. So this is why there's so much resistance right here on this. This is why. And we're going to get back over here. Watch these buys. Watch the size of them. Watch and see if the whales are coming along or if we're still just dealing with minnows and sharks. And look at the tiny little minnow buys here. Look at that. See that? See how small? Look how small they are. And also, by the way, these little numbers can be used. They'll come in little tiny pieces back and forth to each other to get it to go down. Yes, they'll work with these small. I mean, I've had sometimes just 10 share orders split three ways, three, one, three, six. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on with all these dinky little? And is it a way to try to keep it from going up and just everybody selling out who are working in some uh, um, I don't know if it's true or not. Again, I've stated lately I'm trying to stay away from using the word manipulation, but it gets hard to when you see stuff like what happened with PLTR yesterday, and them beating revenues and earnings, and then the massive drop, and it's hard. I showed you the chart on PLTR. It's very interesting. Now I can't if I go to the this page here and I try to hit the 5 day. I guess this was the big drop on the earnings, but no, I guess it would have been here. Oh, anyway, it's weird. It's almost like they're not showing yesterday's massive drop anymore. Uh, I don't know what am I missing here. Tuesday, where's the huge drop that was yesterday? This thing dropped way down mid market. Maybe it was Monday. I guess it must have been Monday. Yep. They came out with earnings here. Was at 14 something, dropped all the way down here. And so that was the big drop right there, I guess. Anyway, maybe it was even here Friday. What day did they release earnings? Let's get down here and see. 2 days ago. Uh-huh. Get down here. We're going to find it. 7 days ago. Keep going back. It's going to be here. I'm going to find it. There it is right here. 8 days ago, four big analysts cut. Huh. We're familiar with that at Sofi, aren't we? Price dropped like a rock. They made it fall big time. All four of those big analysts knocked the socks right out of it. Next dang day, it was right back up. Uh-oh. All right. Hey, one of my Knights of the Round Table calling in. Hold on. Yes, sir. Well, you just joined in on a live upstream on the SoFi channel where the old crow or the early bird is talking about SoFi right now and showing them all the cool stuff about it. And we've currently got quite a few viewers on here and a lot of people that are commenting. And so, welcome, Carl. All right. Carl is, I like Carl here because, I always enjoy his viewpoint because Carl is what I like to call he shows the other side of the coin. I'm always showing the head side. Carl will often mention the tail side. So, Carl, what have you got to tell us all today about SoFi and why you think that it may go up, or like usual, you think it could come down? So, I'm ready to hear what you have to say right here and now. Oh, very interesting. Wow. This is not the usual trend from this gentleman. Now, I should probably have you over this other speaker. Okay. Let's see if you're being picked up on the microphone. Let me drop this down here and see if I can hear you, if the people are hearing you. Say something again. Oh, yeah. You're not real strong, but you're coming over. And the reason is I don't have you over my Alexa. I would have to call you on my Alexa, and then you'll be coming over the main speaker, and everyone could hear you more. But at least they can hear you now, even though it's faint, a little bit faint. But anyway, it is there. So we're going to go back to our main screen and come back over here and look some more at this, look at the charts and look at the prices and look at the numbers. And as I was just relating to everyone, uh, SoFi has. Yes, yes, that is true. And I've mentioned to people that SoFi's CEO has been getting himself in the headlines. I saw him on CNBC. I saw him on, let's see, it was Closing Bell. They did an interview with him, and another interview that I saw recently where he was pointing out in both of these interviews that this is a great opportunity for SoFi getting this moratorium to end and payments coming back in because they're going to negotiate with all of those people who have payments that are going to be due and extend their terms for them. They're going to work out better arrangements so that it'll be more comfortable for them to make their payments. And then when they start making good income after they've graduated and on, and they're making good money, they can come back to the table and shorten that term and get, pay it off sooner. So they're going to be working with these people. It's a great opportunity. I mean, this just spells opportunity all over it for SoFi to advance even further and increase their rate to profitability. And they're saying that they were going to be profitable by the fourth quarter. And I think this profitability is going to come even possibly sooner than some expect. And as usual, people will be caught off guard. People will be caught by surprise, just like they always are. And I show people over here where the estimates were on the last four quarters and where they actually achieved, which they beat the street every time because people just keep underestimating the value of this company and where they're headed and their projection and their potential. Everyone, all of the analysts that gave the recent downgrades on last Friday, I've said it before, 2 weeks earlier, they were upgrading this stock, saying why it was going to be a powerhouse in the industry, why it was so innovative, why it was so disruptive. And then they didn't go high enough with their estimates. It blew past their $8 from the 5 and 6 where it was. It blew by that. And so now, as I said a couple of times, maybe that didn't make them look too good. Maybe the other analysts, I mean, we got to get this thing down. This is making us look horrible. And so they downgraded the stock to higher prices than their previous upgrade was. And I like to point that out to everyone because bottom line is only weeks before, go look at Oppenheimer. They were in it June the 7th saying that this was going to be a great buy and it would go up about 60%. And so everybody was touting it for how all of its innovative and marketing skills and their connections with other networks and how they were with Galileo and all the advances that they were making in the digital banking world. And they were all talking it up, now talking it down. Isn't that interesting? And I just am very, very encouraged by this lower volume that we're seeing and this price just continue to pummel the shorts going up. And we're going to see this afternoon, is my prediction, a continued rise in the price of this stock. I could be completely wrong. I am not a financial advisor. Neither is my friend who's here on the phone with me now, Carl. And I'm not going to try to profess that we are any kind of rocket scientists in the financial world. We've both done well, but we're always looking for other ways to make more. Oh yeah, we've had our hits. We've had our hits. There's been times when we didn't make the right call, but when we're looking at these charts like I'm doing, 90 times out of 100, these charts can lead you in the right direction. And it's all about volume It's about momentum. It's about, and there we are back to 888. And this time, folks, look at here where the time is. And this is the exact time yesterday that I saw them start coming in. And I mentioned it on to some of my friends. Hey, look what time it is. It's 20 minutes till 2, and people are already coming in on this stock because they don't want to miss the boat, bottom line. So we're going to see if I'm right, there's going to be major, major resistance to try to keep this from breaking away. But as I said, you keep looking down here at the volume and the size of these buys. Right there, you're at 26,222,711. And you can see there's 5,000 shares right there, and there's a little buy. See these little tiny buys from all these little Robinhood investors, all these retail buyers coming in. It's just amazing. And I just am again grateful we've got right now viewers here that have left some great comments. Gonna have some fireworks if we see a short squeeze from Chi Wong. A lot of shorts trying to kill us. Yep, yep, they are. There's a lot of people shorting this stock. It's well known that we're in the top list for shorted stocks, and this increases the probability or possibility of a short squeeze, meaning that they got to get rid of these positions. And here we are again, teetering on this number that we've seen this in, yep, 885, 886. And this is going to be something they try to maintain. But I tell you, I still love the fact that yesterday up over 4%, today up over 6.5%. And if this just, I don't need big jumps. Do you need big, huge jumps, Carl?
Do what?
Do you need big, huge jumps to make you happy, or are you more satisfied with low volume, steady increase?
Steady increases are always the best.
Yep, that's what I was telling people earlier. And look right here on this chart I'm showing you folks. Look right now where my cursor is. This right here is the cup, and this is the handle. Except at this stage of the game, this is no longer a cup and handle. This is a doggone frying pan, people. Look at that dip, and then look at this pad, I call it, launch pad. This is a very, very solid foundation building on which to launch from. And again, no promises here because surprise, surprise could come out of anywhere out of left field, and bam, this thing could drop right on down to fill my 866. We got another night adding, so hold on. We're going to add another night to the table. Hold on. Oh, yes. Welcome, Chris. You are at the round table. We are doing a live broadcast. I'm not going to have my speakerphone on too loud because it can create a loop situation. But how you doing, Chris?
I'm good. Are you still live, Tyler?
Yeah, hold on a second. I got to add these calls. Yep, we're merged all together now. We've got the three of us here. I'm trying to merge these calls, merge calls, and it says swap. I don't understand what's going on. Oh, I guess because you called in and he called in. Why don't you give me a second? I'm going to swap over and I'll call him back. Hold on a second,
I'll call
please.
you back later when you're not live.
Oh, you're going to call me back when I'm not live. Gotcha. Well, I'm live now. Talk to you later then. Bye bye. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I tried to merge the calls and it wouldn't work. Up, and he just hung up because he probably got tired of waiting on me. But that's okay. Don't mind. Let's call him back though. Call Carl. All right, here we go. Get him back on here. Actually, I'm going to do it from my speakerphone. Alexa, call Carl.
Which contact?
Carl
Carl
Carver.
or Carl Lawman?
Yep, Carver. And here we go.
Which contact? Carl Carr or Carl Lawman?
Carl Carver. Oh yeah, there we are at
Sorry,
888.
I'm having trouble understanding.
Call Carl Carver. Alexa, call Carl Carver.
Calling Carl Carr.
Thank you. Now we're going to have Carl coming in over my speaker so everybody can actually hear him, which will be way, way better, I do believe. And hopefully he'll be able to entertain our call. Or he might, he's running his own business and he sometimes has to jump away to take care of other calls that he has to answer and so forth. So maybe he won't. Uh, Alexa, hang up the call, please. Well, maybe not. Anyway, all right, let's get over here. Yep. All right. And we're seeing, like I said, a very, very nice platform building here right now. And again, there's very little volume action here as you're seeing because I think a lot of people are watching and waiting. There's a lot of things that are coming out down the pipe. And we're going to hear this announcement about the moratorium ending and the payments coming in for the student loans. Again, I always talk about how that's going to benefit SoFi so much. And reason being of all the negotiations of renegotiating these terms with people, and it's going to be fantastic. It really is. I'm starting to see some more people nibbling here, and we're still staying at this line of resistance. But it should be no surprise. I said it 45 minutes ago that they were going to go for the 888 number, and that's where they're trying to hold it now. But I got news for you, people. I don't think it's going to happen, and I don't think it's going to happen because of this volume, and I think it's going to keep going up. And I could be again completely wrong, but I love platforms when I see like this going on. I really do. Going to get over here. Look at here. Let's get this lined up. You can see them swatting it back and forth, man, trying to contain what is the inevitable. Oh yeah, zooming on in here. Look at that blue line crossing that gold. Look at it. Look how it came together. Uh-huh. And this is it, man. Convergence points. This is why I'm up live right now and streaming, so you can all see these charts, understand what I'm looking at. Look at the candlesticks. Realize how charts can help you in your future investments, and how important that they are. I should call myself the chart hawk, the chart buzzard, the chart crow, the whatever, the chart eagle. Because man, I'm looking at these things with a hawk eye, man. And I tell you, when I start seeing developments like this, I like it a lot. I like the pressure. I like the time that we're seeing this going on. 1:47 p.m. And right here, folks, you can see where we were. What time was this? 112, 882. Folks, can you not see the writing on the wall? I mean, isn't this obvious? At 111, 882, 886 now at 148. Look at that. Look at that big red candlestick. Virtually no effect. You would think normally when somebody dumps 100, see up here, this little block changes, these numbers change in the block up in the corner. If you're looking at your Yahoo screen and you move along these, you'll see these numbers changing, and the number changes as I move along these candlesticks. You can see the volume of each one of these candlesticks at the bottom. There, right there, 142 million shares. And my goodness gracious, it's just still such a solid stock that I just love. And if you haven't don't know what I mean by that, you better take a look at this 3-month chart right here. Look at that. Look at that resilience. Look at this blue line leaving the 50-day. Look at the 45-day. You see this? This is what you need to look at, people. The longer term. Don't get caught up in the daily activity, the tiny downs and ups. Look at this long term. Look at that 45-day moving away from the 50. Look at the 200-day moving average. Goodness gracious, people. Look at it. You can see, look at the increase here on the 200-day moving average over the last, since the 5th of May, since the date of the big rundown, basically, after the earnings. Look at that big red candlesticks on the 1st of May, and look ever since. Look at that blue 45-day and the 50-day. Look at the green 200-day, and don't wonder where this stock is going. Look at this resistance and this springing off here. All right. All right. That's what I'm saying. Let's get back over the 1 day. Look at any more big red spikes that's going to try to yank her down. I could be wrong. Yes, sir. Anthony, 2.5% every day is good for me. Yes, sir. I agree with you, Anthony Walker. And Eddie, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, view open with. Okay, I'm not sure. As such, buffering. Okay, viewers will experience some buffering, I'm hearing here. So I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. I guess we're getting maybe we're getting a lot of people come in. But anyway, I want to thank all of you people, and I'm apologizing for any buffering that's going on right now, especially at this point in time of the day when we're going to see hopefully this thing just go right on off to the never land. And but really pleased, as Anthony just said, with this with 2.37% gain today and the gain off yesterday. And yesterday, if you look at the chart, it almost closed at the high of the day, and I was very encouraged by that. Look at CC. Oh, nice. I love it. Carnival Cruise Lines, people. I told you about this one about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, didn't I? I told you to look at it, and I was right. You can see, look at, and here's now, suddenly there's the Monday chart showing the Carnival Cruise Line beating earnings, and look at that drop on it, just like SoFi did. What do you know? And look at it now. Where do you, could we see the exact same thing happen? I do believe so. I absolutely believe so. And this, by the way, is 1722. Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't complain one bit. Wow. And this, folks, right here, look at all the volume. What that is, people saw it as panic selling, but what it really was mass accumulation by smart hedge funds knowing where Carnival was going in the future and knowing they better get in. Well, they didn't want to buy in at 1582, did they? This was way more attractive for them down here in the 13, 14 range, wasn't it? But look where it is now. Same thing applies. Let's go to the 6 month chart. Yep. You can see it. All that drop down. But look at the turn now. Look at the 6 month. This is an even longer turn. And look how much the blue is leaving the gold. The 45-day leaving the 50. Again, I'm telling you, we're not the only ones that are looking at these charts and looking at this pitch of the 200-day moving average increasing. We're not the only ones seeing this. Let's go to the 1 year. Wow. Here's another thing. Let's do the draw. Let's do the pitch angle. Hold on. Oh, man, I missed that one a little bit. Look at that. Let's do the pitch angles. I don't know what that one's doing. I'm not sure what that one's doing there. Curving. Uh-oh. I gotta get draw off here. I'm making too many lines now. We're gonna get rid of that one. We'll get rid of that one. I can't get on it. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, whatever. That's the 10-day moving average line there. But this one here, you can see the pitch right there of this last run up from March. And now look at the degree, look at the angle, the pitch angle here on this 1 year chart. Look at that. Do you see that? It's increasing, it's increasing, it's increasing. And I got this line here. There we go. There you go. Yes. All right. Back over here. Where steady resistance remains. But look at this. Like I said, this is not a cup and handle, people. This is a frying pan. Now you have here going into this interactive chart on the 1 day, and I'm probably going to have to just get rid of these lines now so they won't be on my 1 day chart. Let's do that. There we go. Now we're going to go back here to the 1 day. And I want to look at this because I want to look at the candlesticks here at the bottom of this screen. Oh my goodness gracious. And again, oh yeah, zooming on here. Look at here. Look at the blue 45-day, folks. Look here at the gold 50-day, this little shorter term. And I'm telling you, folks, this is an indicator. They're not going to want to see that happen. And this is why we're seeing so much intense pressure here from these shorts, because we're right here before 2 o'clock. And this is another time that I've seen on one stock. I couldn't believe it one day. I got panicky because it was dropping at 2. And I started selling right there about 5 till. And the next thing I know, within freaking the next 2 hours, the thing went up like 40%. I was just like, I felt like an absolute idiot. So I don't fall for any of these right before 2 o'clock takedown maneuvers. No way, man. I don't fall for it one little teeny tiny bit.